So it's September, it's the end of September, which means it's our monthly wrap up. So here are the books that I read. Again, this is in no competition. I just really like to read. So here are the books that I've read throughout the month. Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist by Ali Mulford and K.L. Morrison. Sapphic Romance, Paranormal Mystery, Practical Magic meets Halloween Town vibes. I absolutely adored this book. I need more. I really do. I read The Henna Artist by Alika Joshi. This is set in the 1950s in India, and it has a lot of talk about abortion and adoption. I will say I didn't have as much of a problem with the abortion part. I am pro-choice, but when it came to the adoption, it really hit home. Now I'm an adoptee, okay? Like, I just want to make it clear. I will say I give it props for talking about the trauma and the problems with adoption even then. So again, it's definitely an interesting, fantastic read. I think I was just personally triggered a little bit. I read My Sister the Serial Killer. So this one was also interesting. I wouldn't even go with that it's horror. It was, how do I explain? So it was giving like the Black Widow vibes, not Marvel Black Widow, but the Spider Black Widow, where the female spider kills the mate, right? So that's the vibes it's giving, right? And well, that's definitely an interesting aspect for a book, let alone, right? Because there aren't that many female serial killers. It was quite interesting how the sister, right? This is from the sister's perspective, had to basically clean up and parentify her sister. She finds out and like, yeah, even though the mom was alive, like it was, oh God, it was quite interesting to say the least. I would definitely give this one a reread though. I don't know what I would rate it as of right now, as I'm talking to you guys. Probably a 4 if I had to like go with something. But it was different in a good way. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. Okay, I read Enough by Cassidy Hutchinson. So she was a top staffer in the Trump administration. She spoke out at the January 6th, and she has been speaking out against Trump ever since. Now I know people will have their opinions about her. I think that what she did was very brave. It definitely gave an insight to not only how the administration was run, but how cultish a lot of these staffers were. They knew some things were wrong and they still didn't say anything. And hindsight is 2020 for some people. But I'm glad she spoke up, and I thought there was a lot of other interesting things that she was talking about. So highly recommend this read. I also read the January 6th report, which, she spoke in she testified. My brain is fried right now. So this one had a lot of different narrators, Jamie Raskin, Liz Cheney, David Remnick, among others. And I will say that it was a lot easier to listen to than it was to physically read, because I had started this when it first came out. I like nonfiction, but I will say that this was very, not just insightful, like you can obviously rewatch the all of the days when they were talking about it. But this gave a little bit more information. getting away from the nonfiction, I read another paranormal romance. This is Monster Romance, Mistletoe by Kimberly Lemming. So if you like a short novella, I need more. I absolutely adore her writing. I adore these characters. Touch Her and Die, Fated Mates, basically, like, there was just a lot. I liked it. I really liked it. Definitely giving Monster Romance, and that is exactly up Kimberly Lemming's alley, and highly recommend. So this is with the Fire on High. Now, this is not nonfiction, although it does read like a fictional diary of a high school single mom who's finishing high school and going for her culinary. She's graduating. So it's her high school. How do I explain this? She's in high school doing culinary. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I thought this was interesting because this was set in Philadelphia. But I did end up looking up Elizabeth Acevedo, and she actually grew up in New York. She went to, I forgot what school she went to, but it wasn't significant to like the story. But the writing was giving New York. Okay, that's why I was like, are we sure we're in Philly? So, funny story is that my mom used to work at Long Island City High School. She no longer works there. It's been quite a few years. And they have a culinary class. So this was like, are we sure this isn't the school? we sure we're not in Queens here? So it was it was kind of interesting, to say the least. And I think my mom would really enjoy this book because she likes food fiction, but like I said, this was like right up her alley. She worked with a lot of those kids. She's met Bobby Flay and so many others because of the program, among other programs. And yeah, I mean, like, fantastic the way that, talking about single parenthood, especially being a young adult and, chasing your dreams and showing your child how to accomplish things. It was definitely excellent. I recommend it. Okay. Read The Summoning by Heather Graham. I thought it was interesting. I love that they used, it's like urban fantasy almost. It's paranormal. They're seeing ghosts, and the ghosts are helping like solve murders, even historical things. So that was kind of cool. It's different from like paranormal that I've read since joining Book Talk, but I do really love Heather Graham, and she is one of my top favorite paranormal mystery writers. My library has a huge selection of Heather Graham books, and that is how I found her, by my library. I read 86%, and I'm going to count it, of Michael Crichton's Dragon Teeth. So he also wrote the Jurassic Park, my bad. I did not like Dragon Teeth. I will be honest. I felt like there were a few problems with it. I felt like I just wasn't getting interested enough. So I had to just DNF it at that point. But again, I'm going to count it because I read majority of it. Okay, come back for part 2 of my wrap up.